6:02 is the time. Hurricane Florence has now weakened to a tropical depression, but the death toll has climbed now to at least 18. This storm is still bringing record-setting rainfall this morning, and Courtney Zabowski is in Wilmington, North Carolina with the very latest.
3 days after Florence made landfall, the storm is still battering the Carolinas.
Floodwaters are still raging across parts of our state, and the risk to life is rising with the angry waters.
The National Weather Service says some rivers in North Carolina won't crest until tomorrow.
It came fast and I just had to jump in the car and run.
Shane Carson evacuated New Bern along the coast ahead of Florence. Now 300 miles inland in Black Mountain forced him to leave again.
Not sure if I'm going back home. I mean, I don't have a home now. It's gone. Back
in New Bern, where the water has receded, residents are facing new problems.
Our 1.5-story garage. I don't know where the rest of it is.
Lee Bell also has to figure out what to do with a boat that's ended up in her driveway.
Don't know where the Miss Scarlet came from. It must have been anchored somewhere and just washed in during the storm.
Farther south here in Wilmington, you can see the damage Florence left behind. Floodwaters are blocking every road in and out of the city. Officials plan to airlift in essentials for people until the floodwaters recede.
As soon as I hit the water, I knew.
Doug Nickerson needed help after his car failed to make it through a flooded street.
I feel kind of stupid for just, not blatantly seeing it, but it really is dark.
More than 900 people have been rescued by trucks, boats, and helicopters in the past few days. Courtney Zabowski, CBS News, Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah, really sad situation there. You see the pictures of the boats and things in the neighborhood and wonder how that happens. Keep in mind those storm surges come in 10, 12 feet of water.
Yeah.
And of course the boats coming in from the ocean or from the marinas there are just floating on shore because that all
there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
And it's what else is in the water? There's animals, who knows what. So it's very dangerous.
Yeah, our heart goes out to them. Of course, still much in the way of recovery out there. Weather-wise, they're still going to be contending with some issues because they will see those rivers beginning to crest, some of those waterways cresting by Tuesday. We'll see some of the highest water levels there. So still much in the way of flooding to be concerned about there along the Carolina coastline. Not a lot of new rainfall coming down there. And of course, the storm has now continued. Florence has moved north now, so you can see it in southern parts of the Midwest. We're talking southern Indiana, near Cincinnati, Ohio, over in southeastern Ohio, and then off to West Virginia as well. They're all getting a considerable amount of rainfall as the storm continues to move north for us there. 30-mile-an-hour winds within it, so it's much lighter than, of course, when it came on shore, but nonetheless still having an impact as it makes its track to the north. Now back here at home, of course, things are a little bit quieter for us, definitely much drier and a little cooler as you head out the door this morning. Temperatures in the 50s. We'll talk much more about your local forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Anthony. 6:06 now. A Palo Alto woman who anonymously accused Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh of sexual misconduct now revealing her identity. Professor Christine Blasey says she is telling the truth, and she even has therapy notes from the past to prove it. Her lawyer says she is willing to testify before the Senate Judiciary Committee. This incident allegedly happened when the two were in high school. She says Kavanaugh and one of his friends were both drunk, forced her into a room where Kavanaugh pinned her down, groped her, and tried to take off her clothes while covering her mouth. California's Democratic senators both say Kavanaugh's confirmation should be put on hold. Alabama Democrat Doug Jones says he's not sure that's going to happen.
I mean, it's a really serious allegation. At the same time, it's a very difficult situation when you got allegations like this, very sensitive allegations that are important, and you want to respect the wishes of a victim as well as be fair to the people.
Thanks, Secretary Rice.
And Kavanaugh has denied those allegations. The city of Fresno wants to hear your input today on medical marijuana. Council members released those draft regulations we showed you last week on their plans for the sale and use of medical marijuana. They're posted on the city's website. Now they want to hear what people think before they continue with the process. The city council is holding a public Q&A forum tonight from 5 to 7 o'clock. Council members could take a vote on a final draft later this fall. Now to some baseball news. The Fresno Grizzlies no longer affiliated with the Houston Astros. The two split up, leaving the Grizzlies in limbo. The Grizzlies just ended their season. They lost to Memphis in Game 4 of the PCL Championship Series. The next day, the Astros ended their 4-year run with the team. The Grizzlies took home the franchise's first and their only Pacific Coast League championship in their first affiliated season. The club was wildly successful under the Astros, but the split is not about wins and losses, but geography.
Our last two Major League affiliates have won World Series, being affiliated with Fresno, and developed great players here. And I think our ballpark and the reputation that we have over the last 17 plus years speaks for itself. And so we expect to have the phones ringing.
The Grizzlies expected to get picked up by the Milwaukee Brewers. Other clubs in the mix include the Texas Rangers, Washington Nationals, and the Oakland A's. An announcement is expected over the next 2 weeks. It's already 6:08 on this Monday morning, and still ahead for us. Take a look at this. We have some cars pulling up in our parking lot, some beautiful classic cars. We're going to tell you all about a fun show you can be a part of and the great cause it's supporting. Plus, Anthony.
Hey, Alex, temperatures cooling off for us across the area, but some big improvements in the air quality as well. Stay tuned.